this team, and how are you kind of helping the development as well?
So one of the things I just help Matt with whatever he needs. Like I try to be the jack of all trades. I try to sit back and pay attention and make sure that he doesn't miss anything. And players want information. Like we give them as much information as possible to help them while they're on their journey on the court, to try to help them be successful. And that's the thing. Like I like to do. I try to make sure that Matt is on his game to make sure he can give it to them, give him his all.
Yeah. And kind of on and off the court, I know on the court you've obviously got a lot of experience playing basketball yourself, but off the court, what are some of the things that you've kind of impacted into these kind of young group of players as well?
I mean, and that's the thing, like, I enjoy having fun. I like going out, seeing culture and seeing like different things. I'm very eclectic in the way I think. I like going to museums, I like doing it, but I tell these kids to enjoy life. Like I want them to go out and enjoy Manchester so they can go back and tell their friends about their experiences and not just be inside, doing their thing. Like I get it. Some people may be like, reclusive and stuff like that because, that's just their life. But you get an opportunity to do this. You only get maybe 1 or 2 times in a lifetime where you get a chance to see a new environment, new people, new everything. You want to take it all in, and you want to go back and be able to say, "Hey, I did that," and enjoy it while you do it.
And my last question is obviously on the game today against Brussels basketball. From someone who's played in Europe and played, in various different countries, what are some of the insights that you can bring into obviously this team and in this game?
Well, one of the things we want to, like I told you, establish our physicality early. Like we want to make sure that we play physical defense, not just defense, but physical brand of defense for 40 minutes, not 25, not 30, not 35, not 38, but 40 minutes. And we go to overtime, we still play physical type. We play 45 plus minutes or whatever it may be. The style of basketball we want to play, and like we have to establish that on a night-to-night basis because the offense will come, right? We want to emphasize spacing, we want to emphasize three-point shots, we want to emphasize being able to finish at the rim. So, but the things that we can do on a night-to-night basis is our defense. Like we have to bring that every night, and when people come here and we go to them, they understand it's going to be a dog fight.
Difficult game. Yeah. I mean, look, thank you for that insight ahead of this game, and we'll see you back at the commentary box.
Hello and welcome into round 3 of the ENBL in Pool 2 as Brussels basketball host Manchester basketball in a must-see matchup as both teams looking to bounce back from a loss last time round. Caroline Bullock here alongside Cheshire Phoenix's sharp-shooting Skylar White as we get ready to tip off in just a few minutes' time. So Brussels, looking for their first win of the ENBL season, had a 69-60 loss to BK Opava earlier this month. And Manchester at 1-1 with a win against Kayla and a loss to Slovan Bratislava. So Skylar, 2 teams with losses last time round. It's going to be a really important game, isn't it, with teams having an eye on those knockout stages?
Yeah, I think they just want to get back on track. I mean, it's hard coming off a loss, and you want to compete, you want to win, and I think it's going to be a good game tonight.
It definitely will be. So we'll take a look at how the 2 teams match up shortly. But first, let's hear from Manchester's Zach Irvin, head coach Matthew Otten, and Matt Pitkin.
Hey, it's game day. We got another opportunity here in the ENBL. We're 1-1 so far. It's been a good opportunity for us to be able to play all over Europe. It's a bounce back opportunity. We didn't win our last game, but we're here in Belgium, and I know we're ready to come out and play hard and compete.
Yeah, coming into the ENBL, 3rd round for us against Brussels. It's an important game. We're at 500, and obviously I think the ticket in the ENBL is to, if you can stay above 500, you're going to advance. We're playing a different style of basketball outside of the UK. We saw a different style from the Estonian team in Kiva. Our defense really put us over the top on this game. We were able to finish the second half with a strong defensive presence. Slovan, I thought our defense was solid. Now this is a game where we needed to clean up our offense and be more organized because it was a well-organized, well-ran team from Slovakia. And now going into Brussels, it's also, these Belgian teams, they play well organized. Brussels particularly, they're known for their defensive style. They keep teams to a low a low number in scoring. So we're going to have to be organized and try to pick on their defense and be better than we have been in the past.
We're still at a point where we're finding our identity and a consistent level at both ends of the floor. So I think ultimately that's the reason we are 1-1 right now. So yeah, we're just looking to keep making progress and strides in the right direction to help the team get to our best level. About Brussels, it's a team that we know much better than our other competition in the ENBL because we played them in the preseason. I see them as a team that have improved a lot since we played them in late August, and a team that's very well organized on the defensive end, and a team that puts a lot of pressure on the rim and in the paint offensively. So that's what we're going to have to contend with here tonight. But ultimately, for us, we need to play at a higher level in order to win this game. And it's really about us doing the things that we do best in order to win.
So if we take a look at the starting fives for both teams, for Brussels basketball, it will be Jalen Finch, Jamison Overton, Demetric Horton, Godwin Shamanga and Jared Ambrose. And for Manchester basketball, PJ Smith, Max Jones, Gabe Osaboyan, Zach Irvin and Kane Henry. So Skylar, a couple of players to watch out for on the floor at the moment, and we can see one of those players right there. Max Jones for Manchester basketball had a huge 30-point game against Surrey on Sunday in the SLB. How important is he going to be for Manchester out there on the floor today?
Yeah, I think he's going to be a big part of their success tonight. I mean, he needs to score the ball. I mean, he's great at doing that. And I know this Brussels team is a good defensive team, and if he can get inside, pick them apart, and start opening up things for other people, I think they can do some damage.
And speaking of scoring, for Brussels basketball, Demetric Horton leading the team in scoring in the ENBL and also in the domestic league. He had 32 points earlier this season, shot 7 of 10 from 3. He is just a flat-out scorer.
Yeah, Manchester's definitely going to need to stop him. I think he can be a microwave and just heat up. But, we'll see.
And having a player like that, like both Max Jones and Demetric Horton on your team, how does that help you get really pumped up as well? Because you've got a guy that can just go off.
I think it takes the pressure off a lot of other guys. When if you get the ball to this guy, there's a high chance of him scoring. Then you can really worry about the defensive end because in reality, games are won on the defensive end. But if you have a guy who can get an automatic bucket for you, it really takes the pressure off.
It helps, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And these are two teams familiar with each other, having played against each other in pre-season around August, a couple of months ago now. How's that going to play into this game? So teams that have seen each other relatively recently.
It's nice to have a little history with the team. You know each other's play styles, but pre-season it's just so early on that teams are still finding their identity and how they want to play and ironing out the little issues they have. So I think we're going to have two more polished, defined teams tonight.
And for Manchester, so they're 1-1 in the ENBL, sitting at 2-2 in the SLB in 5th place. For Brussels, looking for their first win in the ENBL, and in the domestic league, they are in 8th with 3 wins and 2 losses. But European basketball in the domestic leagues can be very, very different, can't they?
Yeah, it's very different. And I think struggling in their domestic leagues, I think they want to come in here and play a different style of basketball and hopefully get that winning feeling back and then take it back home.
Absolutely. So we're just a couple of minutes away from tip-off as teams get ready to take the floor. Manchester playing in black and Brussels in white. So a big thank you to everybody watching here on the ENBL and Manchester Basketball YouTube channels. This is a Pool 2 matchup between Manchester Basketball and Brussels Basketball. Brussels looking for their first win of the ENBL season, and Manchester looking to move above 500. And in the ENBL, Skylar, with 8 teams play in each pool, teams will play each other once, and it will be 4 home games, 4 away games. That's a little bit of a different style, isn't it, to a home and away leg?
Yeah, and you're playing so many times with against the same teams. You get so used to playing against them, and I think that just makes the games more fun. But it also makes them a bit harder because you know everybody's sets, everybody's tendencies. So it takes especially on the coaching end, to find a good game plan to find success.
Because that's 7 teams to plan for, not 3.
Yeah.
3 or 4. So teams out onto the floor. And for the tip, it will be Gabe Osaboyan for Manchester and Jared Ambrose for Brussels. And ball's up and we're underway. First possession will go to Manchester. And Kane Henry wastes no time getting Manchester on the scoreboard.
That's a great tip right there. That's a great play. I wouldn't be surprised if they drew that up on purpose.
Manchester 2-0 here after the first possession. Brussels looking to answer. Ambrose going inside, fading away, gets it to go. And that's going to be a really interesting matchup, isn't it, Skylar? Ambrose against Osaboyan inside.
Yeah, he's a huge body, and I mean, he's averaging 8 rebounds. So it'll be interesting to see how they go at it with each other.
As Jones can't hit from behind the arc. We saw him on Sunday in the SLB against Surrey, that 30-point game. A flat-out scorer for Manchester as Osaboyan takes the ball away inside. And Irvin will lay it in for 2 for Manchester. And Manchester look like they're playing with pace here.
Yeah, they're getting up and down the floor. They're playing aggressive defense, and I think that's what they want to do. They want to come out and kind of punch them in the mouth the first 2 minutes of the game.
Finch to Ambrose. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Brussels with time running down here. 3 seconds, has to put something up. Shot's no good, and Manchester back on the attack down the floor, led by Smith. Jones. Osaboyan, oh, what a pass to Irvin underneath the basket, and that's Zach Irvin, as we know he does. That reverse layup is just his signature move.
Yeah, he's a corner guy. Once the ball gets inside, he's just cutting straight to the basket. Yeah, they're really playing with a lot of pace, like on the offensive end.
And we know they're a team that like to run. They like to get on the floor in transition. They're going to have someone there ready to put the ball in the hoop. As ball's out of bounds, it will stay with Brussels. So just under 2 minutes played here in the first quarter, and it's a 6-2 lead for Manchester.
They did say they wanted to establish their physicality early, and I think they're doing that well so far.
Ambrose. Hands off to Finch. Finch back to Ambrose, working his way inside. Ball's off the rim, and Osaboyan, again, that big presence inside. He's really going to make himself known against Brussels.
That's a great finish. Yeah, Kane's been like that. He's a slashing type. He's put on some weight. He's gotten bigger. He can be a problem in this league.
And Kane had a few games out at the start of the season, made his debut for Manchester against Slovan Bratislava. He dropped 13 points, so I know fans are going to be very excited to see him out on the floor.
Yeah, he's a great guy to have on your team. He does everything on the court that needs to be done. And, I mean, he's huge and he's athletic. And, yeah, he's a great pickup for Manchester.
Ball's out of bounds. Horton pressured there. So Brussels will get it back. 11 seconds on the shot clock.
Yeah, Manchester's really pressuring them. They haven't really got a clean look at the basket except for that first one.
Finch. Ball's in. And Overton. Good ball movement here from Brussels as 3 doesn't fall. They're getting some good looks there from the outside.
Yeah, they got to be careful of him. I mean, like you said, 7 for 10 in his last game. And, you know, shooters shoot.
And right on cue, the shooter is shooting as Max Jones. A chance for a 4-point play. And you don't, well, I'm going to say you don't see that too often, but you do see that quite
that's
often.
A big, for a scorer and a shooter, that's a big confidence boost. And a guy like that, you don't want to send to the free throw line, because for a shooter, it's a free practice shot. Like, get your form right, get the feel of the ball, get all that. But, yeah, that was a good play.
And Max Jones leading Manchester in the SLB with 17.8 points per game. That's good for 5th in the league. Playing in his first season in Manchester, graduated Kansas State earlier this summer. As he has a chance here to put Manchester up by 10. And he will. Was that a lane violation?
They started to call it, but since he made it, they don't. If it doesn't affect the game, that's what I've been told by refs.
So Manchester up 10 here in the first quarter. Finch looking for some space. Ball's intercepted inside. That's Zach Irvin again. Right place, right timers. Oh! Henry throws it down.
Wow.
What a play from Manchester. And Kane Henry has come out strong here in the first quarter. 6 points. Jones knew exactly where he was going to be.
That's what Kane does. He's a high flyer. I'm pretty sure during summer workouts he's dunked on me more than a few times. But yeah, that's what he does. That was a phenomenal play.
And for Manchester as well, that's just the kind of play that's going to get the team really pumped up. You could see how they were there, and we've had a timeout called by Brussels who want to talk things over.
And in a place, like an away game, like you have to create your own energy. I mean, at home, a play like that will bring the roof down. But playing away, you have to bring your own energy. You have to, get it from the bench, get it from those guys. And a play like that really, it really can jumpstart a team.
And is it almost a kind of, it's a bit of it puts the brakes on the away, the home crowd, because a play like that is just going to stop them flat.
It'll quiet them down really quick, especially on the run they're on right now. I mean, and to end the run like that is, yeah.
So Manchester coming out with intent here early on. Kane Henry leading the way with 6 points for Manchester. Zach Irvin with 4 points. And we've seen a few possessions as well down low. So Zach Irvin able to either intercept the ball or just knock it out of play. So doing a really good job as well off the ball.
Everything is coming from the defensive end. I mean, they've had one or two baskets in the half court on a Zach Irvin back cut or something else. But everything's coming out in transition, getting defensive stops, and defense leads the offense.
So back on the floor, just under 7 minutes to play here in the first quarter, and it's a 12-point Manchester lead. Overton against Jones, runs into Osaboyan. Passing inside as Shimanga hands off on the baseline, but that'll be a step out of bounds, so Manchester will get the ball back here.
Yeah, the defensive pressure, the Brussels can't really deal with it right now. It's a bit frenetic on the offensive end for them.
Smith to Jones. Back to Smith, he's doubled. Osaboyan.
That's a shot.
As Irvin steps back for three, bounces off, but Osaboyan with a huge offensive rebound for Manchester. And they get another chance as Jones thought about the shot, looks to pass out of it. 4 seconds on the clock, 2 seconds. Osaboyan going baseline. As Brussels back down the floor. Finch swings it down. And Shimanga can't get that to go. Again, that's another good look from Brussels, just not dropping.
Yeah, they're just not dropping for him. I think the defensive pressure to get to that shot, it's so intense that they're struggling a little bit to get the shot to go in. And they're not really getting any clean looks. I mean, they've only had 1 or 2 clean looks. But
is it a case of you're so aware of this pressure this defense is coming?
You get so sped up, and then you get the open look, but you're so sped up you don't know, what the right decision is to shoot or not.
Manchester ball, Jones to Osaboyan. Osaboyan, Irvin is there. Reverse layup for Zach Irvin, because that's how he gets his baskets.
That's his spot. That corner back cut.
And a really good start here for Manchester. A 14-point lead early on as Finch looks to pass out for Brussels. We'll get it back. Finch going inside and will put 2 in as Brussels take themselves up to 4. That's a much-needed basket there from Brussels.
Hopefully it'll calm them down a little bit.
Sometimes just seeing that ball go through the basket, the floodgates feel like they open a little bit.
Yeah, you end a run and then you're kind of, okay, now we can relax. We know we can score. Let's just do it a couple more times.
And an offensive foul called on Manchester. So there you go. You've got to stop. You've got to score, a stop, potential to get another score.
Yep. That can shift the energy like that, very quickly.
And we'll have a substitution for Manchester as Matt Nicholson checks into the game alongside Kayem Cleary. And Nicholson out on the floor at 7 foot for Manchester. Brussels don't really have anyone to try and counter him.
That's a big boy. I remember playing. I had to play against him. He's a big boy.
And Louis Hazard in for Brussels for the first time as Ambrose works his way inside, can't get it to drop. And Nicholson there for the rebound, and foul called against Brussels. And that's a difficult prospect to face, isn't it? So Gabe Osseboyne, who's done such a good job inside, he sits on the bench, and then out comes Matt Nicholson.
It changes the way they play as well. I mean, I think Gabe adds a bit more speed and mobility to the lineup. Matt is just a huge presence inside. So I wonder if Brussels can take advantage of it or not.
It's Hazard over to Horton. Horton's shot bounces out, and Cleary takes the ball down the floor for Manchester. And Henry spinning to the hoop, off the glass and in.
That was a great finish on him.
Kane's
a stud.
He's
I love
Showtime
Kane.
basketball.
Kane's a stud. And he can heat up so fast. Like he can score the ball at all three levels.
Kane Henry leading all scorers with 8 points so far in the first quarter. 4 minutes to play. And Manchester with a 14-point lead. Tonko Vuko also out onto the floor for the first time for Brussels after that last substitution. So end-line ball for Brussels. Finch. Finch going inside against Nicholson. That is a tough shot.
Good finish.
And that's what we expect to see from Jalen Finch. He's got that quick move to the basket, able to finish around the rim. As Nicholson for Manchester draws the foul.
Yeah, Brussels seems to be playing pretty small right now, so I think they need to get it inside to Matt and kind of let him work out and see if he can get to the free throw line. You know, if on the other end, if Brussels starts scoring, you know, you slow him down, get into the free throw line, you just got to hit your free throws.
So Nicholson at the line for 2 for Manchester, shooting at 46.7% from the stripe so far this season in the Super League in the UK. Playing in his first season for Manchester after graduating Northwestern University in Illinois. As first one doesn't fall. Spent 5 seasons at Northwestern Uni. And that's something that you don't see too much nowadays, do you? A player staying with the same university for their full career.
Yeah, especially at such a high level. I mean, I'm old, so I never was around with all the NIL stuff and moving around. But yeah, I think he found a system that fit, and he took advantage of it, and it paid off for him.
So Manchester whistled for the foul at the other end. As Kyle Carey into the game for Manchester. Along with Jordan Johnson and Tim Adatu-Cassie. So sideline ball for Brussels. Hazard into Liebert. Liebert going to the basket, too strong, but picked up and put back in the hoop by Ambrose.
Yeah, he was cleaning up the glass. That's always frustrating for a big man when you go to block the shot and it misses, and then your man gets the rebound.
Adatu-Cassie pulls, intercepted. Liebert back down the floor for Brussels. And adding another 2 as Hazard puts it in and cuts the Manchester lead down to 10. So that's a good run there for Brussels the last couple of minutes.
They're taking advantage of the offensive mistakes by Manchester, and the defensive pressure has gone down a little bit. I mean, I think they came out the first couple minutes.
Platforma, kas apvieno būvniecības nozares speciālistus un darbojas 4 pakalpojumu sektoros – ielu kompleksa būvniecība vai pārbūve, teritorijas labiekārtošana, hidrobūvniecība, ēku būvniecība un iekšdarbi. Mēs piedāvājam skaidrs un saprotams risinājums ēku un inženieru būvju projektēšanā, teritorijas labiekārtošanā, dokumentu sagatavošanai, būvju nodošanai eksploatācijā un juridisko palīdzību. MRG partners – stabils, profesionāls un atbildīgs partners.
So an 18-10 lead for Manchester basketball over Brussels basketball, and we have got a watch party at Box in Manchester, cheering on Manchester basketball. So shout out to everyone watching at Box, supporting Manchester basketball, and a good run there from Brussels, Skylar, just before the timeout was called.
Yeah, I think they saw the ball going once, and it's like that calming factor. and they're just taking advantage of the mistakes that Manchester's making on the offensive end. One thing about Manchester, though, is they're getting the ball out in transition so quick. Even on makes, they're getting up and down the floor. But I just think they need to make calmer decisions.
Can that sometimes be a bit difficult when you've got out to such a quick, hot start? And we'll just correct the score. It is not 110-18 to Brussels. It is 18-10 to Manchester, as Carey, with a step out of bounds, ball will go the other way.
I think that's the play they need to take more advantage of. They've missed that corner three a couple times, and I think that shot's going to be open quite a bit this game.
And that's something we saw working for Manchester very well on Sunday against Surrey in the SLB.
Yeah.
So Brussels looking to cut into this deficit. Finch going inside against Nicholson. Oh, drops the pass off underneath to Ambrose. And that's Jalen Finch is such a good facilitator out there on the floor for Brussels, able to find his teammates. He knows he's got Ambrose there. That connection between those two players really fun to watch.
He looks like he knows what he's doing in the pick and roll, and hopefully he can knock in these free throws.
Ambrose shooting 60% from the free throw line, 11.5 points per game and 8 rebounds in the ENBL so far this season over Brussels' first 2 games. Playing in his 3rd season for Brussels, goes 2 of 2 from the line. And it is a 6-point game. Johnson. Johnson to Adatu Cassie. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Back to Johnson. Adatu Cassie. And shot clock running down, so Manchester have to put something up, and Adatu Cassie will.
Brussels have definitely picked up their defensive pressure as well.
As Ambrose hanging in the air, doesn't get the roll. And an offensive foul called against Brussels.
Okay. Yeah.
So Manchester will have the ball back, but you can see how fast both teams are playing.
They're getting up and down really fast, and he's got to take advantage. They got to take advantage of all the opportunities they can to score. And an offensive foul is demoralizing for a team sometimes.
Manchester with a 6-point lead. Cleary 3. That's short. As Hazard kicks it out. Vuko going all the way to the hoop. Ball's in and out. It's unlucky for that not to fall, as Johnson back down the floor to Carey. Back to Carey. He's got space. You cannot give Kyle Carey that much space.
Yeah, that's what Kyle does. He knocks down his open shots, and a guy like that is so valuable because if he's open, he's going to hit it. Doesn't need a lot, and that's what he's going to do.
He's going to catch and shoot, and it's going to go in the basket.
Yep.
So Manchester increased the lead here, 21-12, with 1 minute 15 to play in the first quarter. And Kyle Carey, such a spark for Manchester off the bench. He comes off, he's a very strong defender, a really tough-nosed defender, but like you said there, he can just hit that shot.
Yeah, he's kind of like a glue guy. He'll come in, he'll do his job, and he'll play hard, and he'll give you good, solid minutes when you need him.
So Tonko Vuko at the foul line for Brussels. A chance to cut into this lead as Vuko playing in his first season for the club. Been averaging just under 10 points a game in the domestic league for Brussels. And had a 17.8 rebound game against Zwolle, where he shot 83% from the field. So Brussels have the players out there, don't they, that can go on those scoring runs. As they get a second chance on offense. As Hazard weaves his way to the basket, doesn't get the roll. And Manchester back down the floor. Final minute of the first quarter. Johnson going to set things up for Manchester here. Johnson round to Cleary. 5 seconds on the shot clock. 4 seconds. Oh, Cleary with space to the basket.
That's Kayam's game right there. Clear out. Give me the ball and clear out. Get out of my way.
Manchester stretch the lead back up to 11 here. Finch kicks it out. We'll get the ball back. Finch using the screen, but Nicholson's there. Turns and fires. doesn't get it to go, and that's really tough, isn't it, that Brussels are coming up against. So Jalen Finch using the screen, finds some space, and then Matt Nicholson straight there.
Yeah, he's just he takes up so much space inside that it's hard for them to get even a shot up and over him. So hopefully Brussels can get a big body in there to go against Matt.
So Demetric Horton back out onto the floor for Brussels. And Onyeka Agu at the foul line hits the first free throw. And Agu, a really exciting young player on this Brussels team at just 21 years old.
Yeah, he's definitely a player. I mean, he had 41, 15, and 8 blocks in one of his under-21 games. And just to do that in a French under-21 game, which is impressive. Hopefully he can add a little spark to this team right now.
It's good to see the development of younger players as well on this Brussels squad.
Yeah.
So 2 of 2 from the line for Agu. And it's a 9-point game. 12 seconds in the first quarter. Johnson looks for some space, shots up, and too strong. As Brussels will have a chance here with around 5 seconds to go as Manchester called for the foul, and that's going to put Brussels at the line.
It's not necessarily what you want to do, you know, because if you can get a good shot in the last 5 seconds, yeah, but you don't want to give them 2 points going into the end of the quarter.
So Alexander Liebert at the foul line. 4.7 seconds on the clock and a chance to cut into this even further. Manchester up by 14 earlier on. Now up by 8, and Liebert gets his first points of the game for Brussels. Playing in his 19th professional season.
19th?
That's an experienced guy. And so we've just the contrast there between Agu and Liebert.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So 4.7 seconds, 3 seconds. Manchester will need to put something up. Johnson pulls up and hits at the buzzer. Jordan Johnson, and that's, I mean, we shouldn't be surprised at that because that's what we've seen him do throughout the season.
Yeah, he's just a shot maker, and I mean that's a great way to end the quarter. That'll kind of calm everyone down because a 10-point lead versus a 7-point lead makes a huge difference.
Is it just that double figure sort of psychological?
Seeing a double figure league, you know, you don't want to relax, but you have a little bit of breathing room. Yeah.
And just for Brussels as well, going on a little bit of a run there the last couple of minutes or so, that's going to definitely give them, I mean, it's been a back and forth first quarter, but it's going to give them a
Brussels
boost.
have gotten good looks, they just have to make them.
And as we were saying, Brussels have had those looks, just need to
they just need to convert the looks that they're getting. I mean, they're getting good shots, but they just need to go down. And, you know, some teams get hot early, some teams get hot late. I'd rather start hitting shots later in the game instead of, you know, start early and kind of fall off towards the end of the game. But, I mean, there's 30 minutes of basketball left, you know.
A lot of time
There's a lot of time left.
And as no one ever says, basketball's a game of runs.
Exactly, exactly.
So Manchester up 26-16 here at the end of the first quarter, and Manchester having been led by Kane Henry with 8 points personal, and for Brussels, Jared Ambrose with 6 points and a rebound. So back out on the floor for the second quarter. Brussels looking to cut into this 10-point deficit. As Horton gets the bounce, ball bounces all over the rim and drops in.
Yeah, shooter's roll right there.
So it's down to a single-digit lead for Manchester. Osaboyan out to Adatu Kassi. Jones. Adatu Kassi on the baseline. Double team comes, and Johnson with 3 seconds looking to take it inside. Blocked by Ambrose inside, and Liebert moving the ball around here for Brussels. Back to Liebert. And shot won't fall for Brussels. Back down the floor for Manchester.
Yeah, that's another one. A great look. It's not falling for him.
And Osaboyan with time running down here. 3 seconds will take it to the basket. I'm going to go to the foul line here for 2.
He's an interesting player to me. He's playing the 5 right now, but he doesn't move like a typical 5-man. You know, dribbles the ball well, can pass really well. Yeah, he's a spark plug for him. I've seen him.
And joined Manchester a couple of games ago.
Mm-hmm. Has a G League tag. Yeah.
And it's 6-8 for Manchester playing inside. Gets a second free throw to go. Gets his first point of the game for Manchester. So Liebert looking to answer here for Brussels. Working against Johnson. Brussels going on the baseline. Doesn't drop. Horton gets another chance and shots up. Again, not falling for Brussels, but getting those offensive rebounds, so they're getting the extra looks, getting those chances.
Yeah, the clean looks are not falling, but yeah, they are working hard on the boards. And college coach taught me the team that gets more shots a charge. Team that gets more shots usually has a better chance of winning the game.
So Manchester will get the ball back. And Manchester shooting 57% from the field, 11 of 19 so far to 35% for Brussels, 6 of 17. So fairly evenly matched in the shots that they've taken, just obviously Manchester hitting some more.
Yeah, and they're good looks. They're getting up on the rim. They're just rolling out the wrong way.
Sometimes it's just the way it bounces, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
It can be frustrating, but Manchester basketball. As Jones to the basket, gets the whistle, so Max Jones going to the foul line for Manchester. And if we take a look at the points in the paint scale, 16 for Manchester, 12 to Brussels, which after Manchester's hot start, Brussels have kind of been able to counter that and been able to get those shots inside.
Yeah, but you know, you need the threes to fall, especially for they're getting great looks, they're getting clean looks, and they're just not falling. And you don't want to be wasting possessions like that.
Manchester hitting 3 from behind the arc. Brussels yet to connect here in the first half as Jones gets the free throw. And it's back to a 10-point lead for Manchester. I'd make it 11 as Jones goes 2 of 2 from the line. He's up to 5 points personal. Brussels looking to cut into this lead.
Yeah,
Balls
Manchester's defensive pressure with this first group is very different than the second group.
His ball's out of bounds, will stay with Brussels. And that's a testament to the Manchester defense as well, isn't it? That you can have this strong group, they come off, but then they still keep up the intensity when they're back on.
Yeah, there's different personnel. You're going to guard different ways. I mean, they're guarding all the way out past the three-point line with these hedges, and that's just because of personnel. And it gives teams. It's harder to scout for multiple kind of defenses like that. So you know, it changes the game, changes the dynamic of the game. And it's hard to get comfortable on offense for a team.
Because you've got so many.
You have so much to deal with and all that, yeah.
So ball from the sideline for Brussels here. 7:14 to play in the first half. Manchester with an 11-point lead. Brussels looking for their first win of the ENBL campaign so far this season. Manchester looking to make it above 500 after a win against Kayla and a loss against Slovan Bratislava earlier this month. So referee's just going to check something with the table. And leading all scorers is Kane Henry for Manchester. 8 points personal for him. And how good is it to see Kane Henry out on the floor just doing what he does best?
I mean, I know he went down with an injury a year ago, something like that. I felt terrible for him because he's such a baller. I was talking to him when we played against him. I was telling him, hurry back. I want to play against you again out here. So I'm glad to see him out on the court, and especially having success. Just don't have too much against us.
So back out on the floor, it is Brussels' ball, and Love is up and thrown down by Agu.
To the young fella. I remember when I could jump like that.
And that's going to get the Brussels home crowd pumped after seeing that. And it's down to a single-digit deficit, but Smith can't get the shot to go. Brussels back on the attack. Vuko. Liebert into the corner. Hazard working against Jones. Hazard runs into the defense and gets it on the second try. Like, good defense there from Manchester.
Yeah, just he stuck with it, and finally they got one to fall off the glass.
So a timeout called as Brussels cut it down to a 7-point game.
ENBLeague partners ir biznesa platforma, kas apvieno būvniecības nozares speciālistus un darbojas 4 pakalpojumu sektoros – ielu kompleksa būvniecība vai pārbūve, teritorijas labiekārtošana, hidrobūvniecība, ēku būvniecība un iekšdarbi. Mēs piedāvājam skaidrus un saprotams risinājumus ēku un inženieru būvju projektēšanā, teritorijas labiekārtošanā, dokumentu sagatavošanai, būvju nodošanai eksploatācijā un juridisko palīdzību. ENBLeague partners – stabils, profesionāls un atbildīgs partners.
So a 29-22 lead for Manchester Basketball over Brussels Basketball here in Pool 2 of the ENBL in round 3. And we saw, Skylar, Manchester coming out with that intensity to start things off in the early on in the first quarter, took that 14-point lead, but Brussels have been able to cut away into that lead and just keep on chipping into it.
Yeah, you just got to chip away. There's so much basketball left, and there's so many different times where momentum will swing and it'll shift, and you just kind of have to ride it out. But a play like that dunk that the young fella had, something like that can spark a huge run. I think it was a smart time to call a timeout for Manchester. But a play like that, especially for, if it's your young guy getting to play like that, a huge dunk, that can really spark your entire team. And even the possession after, you can see their defensive pressure was a lot harder. And then they got to stop, got to score on the other end. It can really change the momentum of the game.
And 7 points, absolutely nothing.
It's nothing. Nothing.
So Manchester possession as Smith finds Jones. Jones goes inside, gets the roll, and a good start out of that timeout for Manchester.
That's why he's averaging 18 a game.
Liebert for Brussels to Agu. Double team comes back out to Agu. Liebert thought about it. 7 seconds on the clock. Liebert into Agu. Didn't work that time.
And Brussels getting quite hesitant to shoot the three-point ball.
And PJ Smith with some Harlem Globetrotters showtime there. As Irvin saves the ball inside. Jones. And ball's deflected. 3 seconds on the clock. Smith pulls up from deep. That's off the rim, but again, another offensive rebound from Zach Irving.
And that's why he's averaging 9.5 a game.
Smith looking to make some space. Has to pass out. Henry for three. That's off. That's 3 offensive rebounds from Manchester.
And something like that can kill a team's momentum.
You're playing defense, you're winding the clock down, and Manchester just taking those extra chances as Jones' shot too strong. And
They dodged the bullet on that one.
You can't be giving too many chances.
No. And you play 24 seconds of good defense and then have to do it again.
And again.
It's exhausting.
Agu over to Vuko, that's short. And Jones takes the ball for Manchester. So foul is called.
Yeah, they're missing the easy ones. The easy ones will bring you back into the game.
And is that sometimes a case of, again, we talked about that defense from Manchester, you're expecting it to come, so you're maybe not making as much space as you think, taking advantage of what you have?
I think so, and it's just, might just be honestly just not, just sometimes you just miss.
Yeah.
You know? And sometimes it couldn't come at the worst time to miss, you know.
So Manchester ball, it's a 31-22 lead for Manchester over Brussels here in the first half. Just under 4.5 minutes to play. Jalen Finch back out on the floor for Brussels. Henry finds Cleary, catch and shoot off the back iron, but again, Zach Irvin is there for another offensive rebound.
Is that 4 in the last 2 minutes for him?
As Smith to Nicholson. Nicholson has the ball knocked away.
Yeah, Brussels is getting lucky that Manchester's not capitalizing on these offensive rebounds.
So Finch will set things up for Brussels. Looking to cut into this deficit. Osterboyen back out on the floor for Manchester. Foucault. And Ambrose almost triple team there, blocked by Osterboyen. Brussels come up with the ball, and Hazard trying to get free under the basket, gets the whistle just at the end of the shot clock. And you can see that defense there from Manchester just stifling under the basket.
Got him right on the head. But yeah, I mean, you're trying to go up with 3 guys around you. I mean, that's they're swarming the ball.
Just making it really difficult for Brussels to get those looks that they want.
You see Gabe, the way he guards the ball screen, his hands are so quick that he causes a lot of issues for the ball handler.
So it'll be Louis Hazard at the foul line for Brussels, playing in his 6th season for the club. We're averaging over 6.5 points per game in the domestic league. I was named the Brussels MVP in the 2022-23 season for them. And Brussels having re-signed 7 players from the team last time out. How does that help with the familiarity of players out there?
Well, it's good to have a good core of guys, of returners, and it helps kind of create the identity of the team that what you want as a team, and to have experienced guys who know what the coach is about, know what the coach wants to do. It really helps, lead those new guys into this is how we want to play, and this is where we want to get our shots from, that kind of thing. I think that's a huge factor in a team's success.
Because you need those vets.
You need the vets to kind of take, especially if it's like a rookie or something like that. You need a vet there to kind of show them the way.
So I think the referees here are just determining whether there was a shot clock violation before the foul was called. So whether it will be a shot clock violation or 2 free throws that was originally signalled on the floor. So Manchester.
Now, they don't have video review in here, do they?
No. So I think they've. I'm not sure then how they go back and do it. Maybe they'll watch our stream.
Yeah.
And, it looks like they do have. Yeah, so they will be able to go and check it out on there. So Manchester with a 31-22 lead here in the first half. We've got just over 3.5 minutes to play in the first half. And it is Kane Henry still leading all scorers with 8 points so far, but Zach Irvin, 5 rebounds, 3 of them offensive, along with 6 points in just 9 minutes of play.
Yeah, I think Zach's great. He does all the little things that you need. I mean, he is the captain of their team, and he plays that role very well. He does the little things, does the dirty work, cleans up the glass. And right now, it's helping. I mean, they're winning, so he's doing something right.
And one of the 2 returning players from Manchester after last season alongside Kyle Carey.
Yeah, so it's hard for him. I think it would be hard for him because they do have a new coach. So as a captain, he's definitely having to probably work harder to implement the identity as a team that they want as a team. But he seems to be doing a good job so far.
He certainly is. So as we wait for the call on the floor to be determined. So it does look from that replay like the shot clock had gone off.
Yeah.
So we'll see what the referees determine. But Manchester will be playing in the ENBL again on the 11th of November against Tinstolt in Iceland. That is away in Iceland on the 11th of November. Brussels will be playing Kayla on the 18th of November. Both teams back in action in the domestic league. Manchester against Sheffield on Friday the 31st, and Brussels against Union Mons on Saturday the 1st of November. So we're back out on the floor, and it looks like the call was a shot clock violation.
That's lucky for Manchester.
And Manchester will have the ball from the end line. Johnson out on the floor for Manchester. Johnson hit 5 threes against the Leicester Riders in the Super League earlier this season. We saw him hitting that buzzer-beating 3 to end the first quarter as Cleary takes it all the way to the rack. And that's too much of a clear path.
Yeah, and Kime's another guy who's an athlete. I mean, he's such a threat outside, and he gets so high on his jump shot that it's so hard to contest. And he's so quick off the dribble. The second you rise up, he can go right by you.
So a sideline ball for Brussels as Hazard will take it. And it's back to an 11-point lead for Manchester. They were up 14 earlier on. Brussels had cut it to 7 as Ambrose hands off to Finch. Ambrose was calling for it. Going against 2 Manchester defenders, count it, and the foul. That's a tough move.
Yeah, that's just a big boy going to the rim.
And Ambrose with a chance for an extra point here at the foul line. Averaging a career high so far in the domestic league in Brussels in points per game with 14. Playing in his 3rd season for Brussels.
Yeah, there's not much you can do about that. He just went right through him and finished it.
And do Brussels maybe want to look to do that more, drive the offense through him a bit more?
Yeah, I think right now the shots aren't falling. You want to get inside. You want to get fouled. You want to hit your free throws. But right now you just got to get as close to the rim as you can. And that's what Kayem does. He hits 1 dribble pull-ups, tough shots.
Tough shots that he just makes look easy.
Yeah.
So a timeout called by Brussels. Again, Manchester on the top here in the first half. And we spoke about the 3-point shooting as well from both teams. Both teams are teams that are going to go for that look. Manchester having hit 3, but Brussels still yet to have hit 1, which is quite unusual for them.
Yeah, they're shooting. I think they've only shot 4. Yeah, it's not a lot. And I mean, coming from, I'm on a 3-point shooting team. We shoot 4 in the first 2 minutes of the game, so it's crazy to me. But yeah, I think they just need to start getting those inside shots to go in, those little, the mid ranges, the bank shots. Maybe get their confidence up, then start to step out. But maybe they make that adjustment at halftime, where get more shots up, get more threes up.
We often speak about the battles and the matchups on the court between the players, but also it's very much a coaching battle, isn't it, between the 2 coaches?
Yeah, adjusting to what you see, and like you can have a game plan and be ready to execute it, and then shots might not go in. You might want to shoot 35 threes this game, but they're not going in. What are you going to do? It's like a chess. It's a chess match between both the coaches.
So head coach Krivica for Brussels and Matthew Otten for Manchester will certainly be speaking to their teams at the halftime break. But back out on the court, just under 3 minutes to play, as Brussels look to cut into this deficit. Overton too strong. Nicholson's there for the rebound. As Johnson directs his team off the screen from Nicholson. Johnson runs into traffic, has to pass out. Zach Irvin doesn't get it to fall. But Zach Irvin just doing a bit of everything out there on the floor. As 3 still doesn't drop for Brussels. Johnson to Irvin, and he gets the foul. He's gonna drive.
That's a great rim run right there. getting the stop and then just getting up the floor. You create so much pressure for the defense when you just run straight to the rim like that. And if they dropped off to take care of Zach Irvin, Jordan Johnson could have just shot the ball, and he's hit one so far.
And Zach's such a quick player as well out there on the floor, as we'll see Max Jones check in for Manchester. So it will be Cleary at the line.
For a technical? Must have been.
So one free throw to come. And doesn't go. And then it will be 2 shots for Zach Irvin, fouled on the shot. So Brussels on 4 team fouls now with 2:09 to play here in the first half. So the next one will put them in the bonus, but Irvin at the line for Manchester. Last season was second in the league in field goal percentage, shooting 61.2%. And led the league in 2-point field goal percentage with 67.5. He's a very efficient scorer, isn't he?
Very efficient, yeah.
That's probably our fault we said that.
Yeah, it was. The commentator's curse.
So Finch for Brussels. Finch taking it all the way. Oh, blocked by Cleary.
Yeah, he's just an athlete. Just head was almost at the rim.
As Finch hands off under the hoop. What a pass there and finish from Hazard. And Jalen Finch just finding his teammates out on the floor.
Yeah, they're getting to their spots. They're getting where they want to go. And, I mean, even that one almost rolled out. So it just might be one of those days for Brussels. But if they can see a few more go down.
They might be happy to change ends in the third quarter.
Yeah, travel.
So travel against Manchester, and it will be Brussels ball, and it's back to a 10-point game. So Manchester stretch out the lead a little bit, but then Brussels just keep coming back.
Yeah, that's the play right there. That I said it earlier. That short roll to the free throw line, opposite guy, corner guy's going to cut. It's been wide open every time. So I think they just need to take advantage of that.
Finch hands off, and Ambrose blocked by Nicholson, but working his way, can't get it to go. Again, these shots just bouncing off the rim for Brussels. And that's so tough, isn't it? You've done the hard work underneath the basket.
Yeah, and they're putting a lot of pressure on the rim, but like I said, Matt's a big body down there. So if you know he's around you, you will hesitate a little bit. And when you hesitate, there's a better chance that you're going to miss that layup, even though it's a gimme.
Matt Nicholson had 40-plus blocks in his last 3 seasons at Northwestern University, so certainly a threat out there on defense, as Jordan Johnson at the foul line after that 5th foul from Brussels puts them in the limit. Johnson averaging 7.3 points per game for Manchester in the SLB, and second free throw is good. 11-point lead for Manchester. And PJ Smith back out onto the court as Jordan Johnson heads to the bench. Just over a minute to play here in the first half. Brussels probably trying to look to get this to a single-digit deficit.
They don't want to go in with a double-digit behind double digits.
Finch finds Ambrose. Ambrose too strong. And Cleary takes the ball for Manchester. Cleary runs into the referee. So foul against Brussels, and Manchester back at the foul line. That's certainly something they can try and take advantage of.
They just need to take advantage. They need to hit their free throws. I mean, it's free money is what we say, but they have to take advantage of it. But down on the other end, Brussels seems to be getting to their spots. They're getting the ball where they want it to go, but Manchester's defensive pressure is just, it's obviously changing something of the way they finish the ball.
And Manchester kind of with the advantage size-wise, really, apart from Ambrose out on the floor.
Yeah.
As Cleary gets the second, 50 seconds in the first half, up to a 13-point lead for Manchester, as Overton backs the ball out. Overton into the corner. Ambrose back out, thought about the shot, three will go, and that's a much-needed basket there for Brussels.
Yeah, they needed that one. Just to see it go through and just to get that monkey off your back of hitting your first three of the game. I mean,
that brings it back to a 10-point deficit. 4-second difference between the shot and game clock here. Smith over to Cleary. Cleary pulls up and won't go. Gets his own rebound though. Chasing down the ball. Kayem Cleary just working on the glass. As Manchester called for the foul with 1.1 seconds left. And that kind of mirrors what we saw towards the end of the first quarter with Manchester with a late foul.
Yeah, I wonder if they get. Is he saying he's shooting or no? No.
So it will just be a sideline possession with 1.1. So maybe a sensible foul.
Yeah, somewhat sensible. I mean, they're not close to the bonus, and yeah. There's a chance if you get a half-court shot up, there's a chance it could always go in. So if you want to make it a bit harder, to, catch and shoot half-court shots a bit different.
As shot is up and it was close. It was close.
Closer than a couple of the threes they had so far.
So at the end of the first half, it's a 41-29 lead for Manchester over Brussels Basketball in this Pool 2 matchup in the ENBL. Manchester having been led in scoring by Kayem Cleary, 10 points for him along with 6 rebounds, and Kane Henry with 8 points, shooting 66% from the field. Captain Zach Irvin adding in 7 points personal and 6 rebounds. And for Brussels Basketball, Jared Ambrose, 8 points and 3 rebounds. And then Louis Hazard off the bench with 9 points and 6 rebounds. Brussels hitting their first 3 of the game just a few seconds ago. Manchester hitting 3 so far. So we spoke about Manchester's hot start earlier, Skylar, but Brussels needs to find more production throughout the entire roster, throughout their guys. I mean, Manchester's spread out. They have 8, 7, 8, 10. They're getting scoring from all areas of the team. Brussels is just a few guys, and I think they need more production from the other guys. So the second half coming up, but first we have a feature from the last time Manchester played Brussels during their pre-season tournament earlier this year.
First preseason trip, it's feeling good. I feel like we got a great group of guys. I feel like we're gonna go out here and showcase what we've been working on this past week. Just gel together and just have fun with it.
I feel good. I'm ready to go. Ready to see what the team is about, ready to get out there and get my first game, so let's go.
It's going to go good. We got a good week at practice, a lot of preparation went into this, and I'm looking forward to getting out there with the guys for the first time.
Man, just touched down in Brussels. Excited to get the preseason game started. Stay tuned.
Feelings on the first practice. Yeah, it's a good day to create habits. Playing a lot of games on the road this season. Today's really about creating habits. How we practice on the road, how we travel together, how we be together, how we're going to work in the environment, being on the road, and basically training our minds for what to expect on game day in morning practice. So good focus from the group, and I think that we have enough information to go into this game tonight ready.
First practice went good. Getting ready to get back to it. Got a game later today. Yeah, man, we're just ready to get to it, bro. Good first practice.
First practice aboard.
Yeah, trust is good, man. But like a lot of us haven't been in Europe before, so I feel like it's exciting for everyone. As one of the older guys on the team, I feel like more responsible to make sure everyone's ready to go, which is something new for me, but I'm ready for it. And I'm excited to be around players that I've been working with over my junior career. Yeah, looking forward to get going.
No, I feel good about going into our first preseason game today. You know, the guys have been working hard, had a full week of practice, competing against each other, get our chemistry together, and now we have an opportunity to really showcase what we've been doing for the past week.
Yo, what's going on? We're out at the Mons Arena with Manchester Basketball. They are playing their first game of a 2-game trip. But look, come with me and let's see what's going on.
Yeah, yesterday's game against Mons, first game of the season. You know, we lost in overtime. I thought there were some good things to see. You know, we fought back from being down in the first half, so there was some good fight from the group. After only 4 practices together, you know, a lot to expect. Being a little unorganized, but this is a great experience for us to start learning how to play together, learning how our rotations go, getting in shape. So there's a lot of value in this game, despite the loss. Today against Brussels, you know, we try to clean some things up in practice, work on our execution points. This is also conditioning for us. You know, back-to-back games is going to be heavy on our legs, so you know we got to go deep into our roster and rotations. But it's a great experience. Like I said, it's a great. Brussels is a good team, so it will be a tough opponent. But we have to learn how to play through when we're tired, so this will be a big challenge for us today.
I feel like yesterday it was good for us to get out there and play against some other competition. Although we didn't get the result that we wanted, I feel like we learned a lot and we got another opportunity to get it up today.
Definitely frustrated about the loss. I think guys would definitely had a competitive spirit, but excited about the opportunity to get to go out on the court and play again. I think we were already able to learn a couple of things as a team about ourselves and our identity. So just excited to go out there and compete again and learn more, on this journey as the season progresses.
So we are here at Nida over Heimbeck, aka the home of Brussels basketball. Manchester will be playing their second game overseas now at Belgium, and let's see how the game goes.
good game, bro. I mean, we all played collectively. Got the dub, that's most important. I just try to make the right play, man, that's about it.
Great bounce back from yesterday, first of all. We adapted to a lot, came together, had a lot more composure, helped us in the the stretch of the game. And, I'm just proud of the team for making the progress that we made over these past few days. And I feel like things are really coming together.
All right, there you have it. That's the end of our Belgian trip. The boys won 1 out of 2 games, but they showed so much fight and courage to win in that second game. So many positives to take into the season. Hopefully they can carry this momentum into the season. But look, next week we're back with another game. Let's go.
Welcome back as we get ready for the third quarter between Manchester Basketball and Brussels Basketball in Pool 2 of the ENBL. Manchester have a 41-29 lead as we head into the second half and have been led by 10 points from Kayam Cleary off the bench along with 6 rebounds. And for Brussels Basketball, it's been Louis Hazard with 9 points and 6 rebounds off the bench. So Skylar, it was a really hot start for Manchester. Brussels chipping into the lead. We're down to a 12-point lead for Manchester at half-time. What do you want to see from Brussels coming out of this second half?
I think they need to finish the gimme ones, the ones right around the basket. I mean, I think they're getting to the spots where they want the ball, and they're just not finishing. They're rebounding the ball really well. I mean, they have 8 offensive rebounds, but you need to capitalize on those offensive rebounds. You need to get something out of it. And I think, being a shooter myself, they need to shoot the 3 ball. I mean, it's hard to win when you're 1 for 5 in the first half. But it's the gimmies that are killing you, and they're lucky right now. I mean, Manchester is getting to the free throw line. They're 8 for 14, so it could be an even bigger deficit. But yeah, those gimmies are the ones that will get you back in the game.
And Brussels, a team that have been attempting 23.5 threes per game, so only have attempted 5 in the first half. That's really, Manchester have really disrupted their game plan.
Yeah, they seem really sped up on offense. They're playing way out beyond the 3-point line, and I think that with this first lineup, this gives Manchester the ability to really hedge the screens hard, get the ball handled under pressure, and get them sped up and kind of frenetic. So if I was their coach, I'd tell them just calm down, attack the hedge, get downhill, and find the shooters and get them up.
And we've seen them bring the lead down to 7 at one point. Yeah. So back out on the floor for the third quarter, as doesn't drop for Henry. That was off the rim. I think the Manchester fans at the box would have erupted for that one, but a good start there.
Yeah, that's what you want. That's how you want to start the half. They got lucky on the miss, but you want to start the half with a score, especially when you're down by so much.
Get a store, and then a great steal there as Overton will take it to the basket. And if you Brussels executed perfectly coming out.
That's what you need. That can turn the tide of a game very quickly.
So an 8-point game as Manchester have possession, 41-33. Jones backing down inside, going to the basket, gets the whistle, so Max Jones will go to the foul line. And Shimanga called for the foul for Brussels.
Yeah, that's a smart play to just kind of kill the hot start, kill the momentum, get to the free throw line, slow everything down.
Max Jones, 8 points so far for Manchester. Had 24 against Brussels, playing in the pre-season game when Manchester travelled to Brussels. And that's not something all teams do, is it? Pre-season games, you know, they might have a couple of scrimmages against some teams in the UK, but to travel over to Brussels, they played in the Landalt Cup in Switzerland. So that's a really good experience for them.
Yeah, especially playing high-level teams, it's good to work out those wrinkles and stuff like that against high-level teams at a faster pace. I mean, you can do all the simulation and practice that you want, but when you get out there with people you don't know, it can really help get a team where they want to be.
Ambrose to Finch. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Finch trying to find some space, but ball's deflected and Manchester come up with it. Smith needs to get it over the halfway line. He will. And Ossaboyan with a pass to Jones on the baseline. Irvin for 3. Doesn't fall, but the ball movement there from Manchester. Working the ball round as Shimanga has to pass the ball back out. Horton. Ambrose, and you can just see the quick hands there of Gabe Ossaboyan. Foul's called under the basket, but Ossaboyan just right there.
Yeah, like he's a 5-man, but he doesn't play like a 5-man. He's quick, he's got good hands, he can pass the ball really well. He's definitely giving them some issues down low.
So Jared Ambrose at the line here for Brussels. And the first one spins out. Ambrose with 8 points and 3 rebounds so far. And second one's good. Back to a single-digit deficit. Smith for Manchester. Has Finch on him. Oh, passing to Ossaboyan, lobs it up to Irvin, who finishes at the rim.
That's what I was saying. Get the ball screen to the free throw line, corner cut. That's a 6 assists. Like I said, he can pass the ball really well for a big man.
And how valuable is it to have a player that can play like that, as Ambrose fouled on the floor, but to have your big man being able to facilitate like that.
Yeah, it's because you can cut from anywhere, and if he finds you, I mean, it creates so much more scoring opportunities. And if he knows where he wants to pass the ball, it can cause a lot of headaches for defenses.
I think we just had a technical foul called against Manchester. So if that is a technical, that'll be one shot to come for Brussels. There was a foul on the floor just beforehand. And we'll have a substitution for Manchester.
Was it on the coach or was it on Gabe? Might have been on Gabe because he's coming out.
And it was a technical foul, so shot is good for Brussels as Horton puts it in. And it will be Brussels possession from the sideline, so 10-point game. Finch goes to the basket. And again, Jalen Finch, when he puts those burners on, he can just get anywhere he wants.
He's quick. He gets downhill very well, and it's hard to finish over Matt like that, and especially for his size. But those are the ones you need to start falling, getting to the rim, and finishing the ones at the rim.
And foul against Brussels. So it was a 26-16 run for Manchester in the first quarter. And it's been a 6-4 run so far for Brussels. Sorry, a 8-4 run for Brussels so far this quarter. So the best start to the quarter so far.
Yeah, they've come out hot. I wonder what their coach said to them in the locker room. It's never fun going into the locker room down by that much.
Smith against Finch. Irvin.
Offensive foul.
An offensive foul called. So Brussels really able to capitalise on this here.
Yeah, they're getting good stops on defense. And they got lucky on that one because Max Jones did hit the shot.
So a chance for Brussels to cut into this even further. It's an 8-point lead for Manchester. Just over 7 minutes to play here in the third quarter as Finch works against Smith. Ambrose is there. Back out to Finch. Finch against Smith with 6 seconds, kicks it out, three's up and won't go. But that's a good look.
That's a great look. I mean, it was a bit of a chaotic possession, but you got a clean look, and you just have to knock him in.
This ball will go the way of Brussels, and Shumanga fouled on the shot, so Godwin Shumanga will go to the line.
That's a good foul. Make him earn it at the line.
Godwin Shumanga playing in his 3rd season for Brussels. Averaging 4 points in the ENBL so far. He's got Euro Cup experience and experience in the Basketball Champions League with Antwerp, which again playing at a really high level is going to be really valuable to bring to this team.
Yeah, you get so much experience for playing at levels like that, and the guys you play against, the guys you play with, you learn so much.
As free throw is no good. 7-point game. Smith. Jones swings it over to Nicholson. Jones against Ambrose. Ambrose nearly took that away, but Irvin is there on the baseline. That baseline cut, the reverse layup, what Zach Irvin does best.
Yeah, he's made a living on that baseline cut, hasn't he?
I don't think he likes to take a regular layup. I think he has to do the reverse layup.
He used the rim as protection. Yeah. I have to do that because I can't jump.
Leads back up to 9 for Manchester. Finch drops inside to Ambrose. And
smart play.
Henry taking the charge for Manchester. As they'll get the ball back up 47-38 here in the third quarter. And Manchester will be facing Tindastóll in Iceland on November the 11th in their next game in the ENBL. Brussels will be playing Kayla on November the 18th. And there'll be 16 teams from the 3 pools in the ENBL that advance into the playoffs. Round 1 is single elimination before the quarterfinals and the final 4s. So all to play for out on the floor as Brussels looking for their first win. Manchester looking to move above 500 as Max Jones takes it to the basket.
Yeah, he's a player. He can get in there, finish with both hands. And they ran a little Spain action there to get him a shot, but he knows he can attack the defender who's coming out at him.
Finch looks to answer and does for Brussels, and Jalen Finch he has that long reach, uses the backboard so well.
And he knows that Matt is going to drop down in a drop ball screen defense, and he knows he can get downhill on him. He just has to be able to finish over him.
Smith spins, has space at the foul line, but ball's taken away. And Finch will, blocked! Brussels will get it back as 3 bounces off, and the ball's all over the place. Brussels
on the floor,
will take it. Did look like it was slightly on the line. 3, again, not falling for Brussels, but the ball ends up with PJ Smith. 9-point Manchester lead, looking to put it back into double figures as Irvin kicks it out to Henry. Henry, deep 3, that's good.
Oh, that's demoralizing for a team. You get clean looks at the basket, offensive rebounds, and you can't finish, and they just come down, a couple passes, hit a 3.
And leads back up to 12 like that for Manchester. As Finch to Overton. 7 seconds. Going inside, great move to the basket as Shimanga puts it in. And again, back to a 10-point game. So every time Manchester just try and stretch it out a little bit, that Brussels are not going anywhere.
That's a great move. He saw Matt coming out, pump faked, attacked his feet. It was a great finish.
Biznesa platforma, kas apvieno būvniecības nozares speciālistus un darbojas 4 pakalpojumu sektoros – ielu kompleksa būvniecība vai pārbūve, teritorijas labiekārtošana, hidrobūvniecība, ēku būvniecība un iekšdarbi. Mēs piedāvājam skaidrs un saprotams risinājums ēku un inženieru būvju projektēšanā, teritorijas labiekārtošanā, dokumentu sagatavošanai, būvju nodošanai eksploatācijā un juridisko palīdzību. MRG partners – stabils, profesionāls un atbildīgs partners.
So Manchester with a 52-42 lead over Brussels basketball here in the 3rd quarter. Just under 4 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. And it's been a good start for Brussels. It's been a 13-11 run so far this quarter. They've matched their points total from the 2nd and put up 16 in the 1st quarter. So a much improved 2nd half for them so far.
And they're coming out, they're playing a bit more intense. I felt like after seeing them play now, the first quarter, they're a bit more passive. I don't know if that was an energy level thing or what was going on, but they definitely picked up the intensity on both ends of the court. And I think, Finch he's starting to find his rhythm. He's starting to figure out what's going to work for them to win. I mean, you can have a game plan all you want, but when you get into the game, you have to find what's working. And him getting downhill on Matt Nicholson, who's out of the game now, was working. And I mean, Manchester's gone with a smaller lineup now to more athletic guys. I think they want their big guys to be able to guard Finch. So if they want to switch ball screens or something like that, or someone who can move their feet a little bit better.
And if you've got Finch, if he's taking it to the basket, if he draws that double team, he can kick it out.
Yeah, I think right now Manchester's banking on the fact that Brussels is really struggling to shoot the 3 ball, and right now it's almost like, hey, shoot the 3 ball, and then we'll make an adjustment when you start making them.
Yeah. Liebert with 6 seconds. Ball's picked off by Manchester. And Adatu-Cassie and Johnson out onto the floor.
That was a good defensive possession. Like I said, they have this lineup in so they can switch those screens and they can switch them and jump them. and stop that downhill drive. And it worked out on that last possession. But you have to capitalize on the offensive end. Can't have silly turnovers.
So you've done the hard work there. You've got the stop. You put the defense in.
Yeah.
You want to get a score. It's not as simple as that, is it? Though?
Yeah,
That's
I wish it was.
Vuko going against Adatu Kasi.
pass.
Oh, what a pass
Good
to Agu, but met at the rim. And 2 shots to come. That was, I was just about to drop.
Yeah, that was good defense. But was that Kane? It was good defense, but it's just one of those ones where I felt like they had to make a call.
So Onyeka Agu at the foul line has 4 points, 2 rebounds. We saw him throw down that dunk in the first half. Really got the Brussels crowd on their feet. We spoke about him before. Really exciting young player out on this Brussels team. And getting the opportunity here in the ENBL.
Yeah, and right now he's been one of their stronger guys. Just has to hit his free throws.
Second's good. So back to a single-digit lead for Manchester. Brussels looking for a stop here.
Oh.
Henry thought about it. And ball's out of bounds. And then that's the young player there, Agu. Again, the defense on Henry just making an impact.
And I think as a young guy out there, you're almost desperate to get a stop, desperate to make something happen. And he did there. I mean, that's their 6th turnover of the half or of the quarter. They only had 6 last half, and they've already doubled up their turnover amount. So Brussels definitely picked up their defensive pressure.
Vuko backing down Adatu Kasi. Vuko going baseline.
And more travel. Oh.
And basket's good. Basket counts. And Vuko going to the foul line. So that's a big point there for Brussels. So Tonko Vuko with a chance for an extra shot here as Matt Nicholson back into the game. Kane Henry goes to the bench for Manchester. Vuko gets it to drop, so 3-point swing there for Brussels. And it's a 6-point deficit. Johnson works against Finch. Adatu Kasi to Cleary in the corner. Cleary puts it up, puts it in the basket.
That's what he does. That's a tough shot, but he's a tough shot maker.
Doesn't matter if he's got a hand in his face, he's still going to make it.
It's so frustrating for a defender when something like that happens.
He's got such a high release as well.
And he jumps so high.
As Brussels looking to respond here. And floater won't fall.
Young fella.
But tipped in. And Agu really making an impact out on the floor as whistles before the shot. So fouls on the floor. Manchester on 5 team fouls. Brussels on 2. We've got just over a minute and a half to play here in the 3rd quarter. Johnson, Cleary gets the whistle.
Yeah, that's a good take. They know they have to step out on him. They can't let him shoot it. He just turns the corner and gets straight downhill.
And how difficult is it to plan for a player like that who can shoot from anywhere on the court, who can drive as fast as he can, because you think, okay, we've stopped him once, but no, he's just going to either go past you or take that shot.
I mean, I think you have to tell your guys, like, you have to take personal pride in your matchup and just kind of look at him and say, you're not going to beat me one-on-one. But Kayam is an elite scorer, and, you know, if I was a betting man, I'd take him every time. I saw a lot of it during the Manchester Pro-Am.
And 1 of 2 from the line for Cleary. 8-point lead for Manchester. Hazard. Hazard with 9 points off the bench for Brussels. Finds Liebert. Liebert threes up, that's short. And Adatu Kasi takes it for Manchester. Carey will set things up, approaching the final minute of the third. Johnson pulls up long two, off the back iron. Nagu with his 4th rebound of the game to go along with his 7 points. Finch, and fouls against Manchester, so that's going to put Brussels at the line. And a chance to cut into this even further here.
He knows what he wants to do, he knows where he wants to get, and he's taking advantage of it.
So 2 to come for Finch. Playing his 2nd season in Brussels, was in Serbia before that, after having spent 3 years at Georgia Southern University, where he averaged just over 10 points per game throughout his career there. And 1 of 2. It's a 7-point game. So you mentioned it before, but the defensive pressure really feels like it's just been turned up a notch.
Yeah, it's definitely picked up. But they just have to convert on the offensive end.
Johnson gets the ball back. Johnson pulls up, and shot spins everywhere.
These are not friendly rims, are they?
They are not. As Liebert, 10-second difference between the shot and game clock here. Hazard spinning, ball's picked off by Johnson. Has Cleary running the floor, and Kayem Cleary going back to the foul line. But that's Kayem Cleary. He's gonna get out on the break.
Yeah,
he's gonna be there.
He's fast. He's just gonna get to his spot. He knows. They know. His teammates know where he's gonna be.
It's almost like muscle memory. You know, you can throw the ball.
And just right now, like no one. People are struggling to finish, struggling to hit shots. Getting to the free throw line is where you can kind of reset and get your confidence up a little bit.
Cleary leading all scorers with 14 points, make it 15 after the free throw. Cleary with 6 rebounds as well for Manchester. And doesn't get a second. Shot clock's off, 15 seconds. Liebert controls it for Brussels. Liebert against Cleary. Going to the hoop and doesn't get it to drop. And launched down the court. But at the end of the third quarter, it's a 57-49 lead for Manchester over Brussels. A 20-15 run there for Brussels that quarter, their highest scoring quarter of the game so far. They've certainly flipped a switch.
Yeah, I think the young fellow there got a little bit too excited. I think that one might have dropped in, but.
So a 57-49 lead for Manchester over Brussels as we head into the fourth quarter. As we were just saying, Skylar, a good run there for Brussels in that third.
Yeah, I think they defense lead the offense. They really picked up their defensive pressure. It gave Manchester a lot of issues. They were able to somewhat convert on the offensive end, but they're getting relatively decent looks. They're just not finishing them.
And if we look down the scoring, so the scoring has been spread around a bit more for Brussels after that third quarter. Jalen Finch and Louis Hazard leading the way with 9 points each, along with Jared Ambrose on 9. But for a team that, as we've seen throughout the season in the domestic league and in the ENBL, that we've spoken about it, they like to go to that three-point shot. They haven't been scoring as much as we'd expect. Manchester averaging 81 points a game so far, Brussels 67.5.
Yeah, it's a pretty low-scoring game, and it's a very inside game right now. I mean, I think Brussels is going to find it hard to come back and to win when they're not getting their threes up. At some point, you just need to play the percentages, and you know, if you're missing, just keep shooting them. I mean, that's a shooter. I'm going to keep shooting them. But also, I mean, your leading scorer, Demetri Horton, is only at 3 points right now. And, you know, it's going to be hard to win a game when your leading scorer is not being as productive as he can be or as usually is.
And that's huge. And is that something that Manchester will have really kind of focused in on, say, if we stop Demetric scoring?
I think it would have been part of the scout where this guy can beat us, let everybody else beat us. So if some other guy went for 25, all right, that's fine. We'll live with that because that was our game plan.
And Brussels get things started in the fourth quarter. Now Smith handles the ball for Manchester. 6-point game. Cleary long pass over to Adatu Kassi. Ball will go into the backcourt. So Brussels get it back with a chance to cut this to a single possession game here.
Yeah, this is a big possession coming up here.
So sideline ball for Brussels. We spoke about the inside game, 34 points in the paint for Brussels compared to Manchester's 30 through 3 quarters. As the ball is in, Hazard to Vuko. Overton against Jones. Overton creates some space, can't hit the shot. But another chance here for Brussels as 3 still won't fall.
Yeah.
And fouls on the floor. Again, they're those good looks.
You need to convert those second chances. Even if it's just such a momentum thing to work hard on the rebound and get the offensive rebound and then get a basket out of it. It can change the mindset of a team and the guys out on the court.
Henry, 3, not that time. Brussels back down the floor. And it's intercepted by Manchester.
He's going to throw a lob.
And it's up and can't finish at the rim.
Good hustle play.
As Vuko takes it for Brussels. Liebert finds Overton on the baseline. And lead is down to 4 for Manchester. Their smallest lead of the half. That's an odd way of saying it, but Brussels have cut it down to 4.
Yeah, they've really cut it down. I mean, I think the lob would have been great. Everybody loves a dunk, the oohs and the ahs. But fourth quarter, struggling a little bit, just get the basket. That's what I would think.
So a timeout called as head coach Matthew Otten wants to talk it over with his team. And Coach Otten, having previously coached in Austria, a very experienced coach, a lot of winning and a lot of championships he's had there, bringing that experience to Manchester alongside his assistants Antoine Broxy and Matt Pitkin. A real good coaching core we've seen from Manchester.
Yeah, and they know what they want their team to be about. They know where they want to get their shots from, get their looks from. They have that identity that they want the team to have. He's a Cheshire guy, but pretty sure too, right?
Yeah, played for the Jets.
Yeah.
The Jets and Mersey Tigers.
Okay. Back in the day.
Yeah.
Back in the day. I'm not that old.
So teams coming back out on the floor. It's a 4-point game. Brussels are looking for their first win of the ENBL campaign. And Manchester currently at 1-1, looking to make it over 500. As we'll just reset again from the sideline. Moisture technician out on the floor, doing a great job there.
Moisture technician. I like that.
So it'll be Manchester ball from the end line as Smith takes control for Manchester. Jones. Osaboyan. Smith. And ball's loose, it's picked up. Vuko takes it away for Brussels, and foul called against Manchester. As ball was loose on the floor, Vuko was able to come up with it for Brussels.
It's a smart foul to stop the break, especially in this kind of situation.
And this is going to give Brussels here a chance. If they can cut this to a single possession game, they're going to really feel like
You're talking about Brussels wanted unsportsmanlike, but I don't think they're going to get it.
Yeah, just a regular foul there. But yeah, to go from 14 down earlier on to put this to potentially a single possession game.
If you give a team a little bit of hope, you know, something like this can always happen.
Hazard finds Liebert. And another quick foul on Manchester there, so that'll be their second team foul. So Brussels go again from the sideline. And for Manchester, Gabe Osaboyan on 4 personal fouls, so there's something to look out for there, as he's been really important for Manchester as Jones comes up with a steal. So a 4-point game. Jones takes it to the rack and drops it in.
If he gets downhill on his left hand, it's hard stopping him.
Jones up to 12 points.
I'm getting a good scouting report for the next time we play him.
You certainly are. Agu at the basket. Onyeka Agu is just putting on a show here for the Brussels fans.
And something like that in this situation can just spark a run, gets the crowd back into it. Energy plays at this time of the game are huge.
4-point game. Cleary, long 2. Fouled on the shot, so Cleary will go to the line for 2-3 free throws here.
Yeah, it just seems like Brussels are getting something good on one end, and they come down and then make us. That's a silly foul, especially at the end of the shot clock. You want them to, if you're getting the one dribble fadeaway mid-range at the end of a shot clock, you've won that possession. You don't want to bail them out.
You want to make it as difficult as possible.
Exactly.
So Cleary misses the first for Manchester. Cleary up to 15 points personal with 7 rebounds. Up to 18 now. Puts the lead up to 5 for Manchester. Liebert against Johnson. Hazard. Back to Liebert. Liebert, the veteran on this Brussels squad, as Overton looks for some space. Has Jones on him. 4 seconds. Overton.
Gotta get it up.
And foul against Manchester. That's a second team foul.
Yeah, just like the possession before. You play 23 seconds of great defense, and then you bail them out at the end with a foul.
Will Reed always said to me, you've got to play 25 seconds of defense.
Yeah.
So Osaboyan straight out on the floor, and Cleary is there, but fouled on the shot, and Cleary back to the foul line. Oh, we can see that. Oh, it's Agu going for the block, but it is a clear foul there. And Cleary again, but Cleary down the floor, ready to get the ball in position.
He gets down the floor so fast.
And I know a lot of people in Manchester are really excited to have Kayam Cleary back at home after being away for 8 years, playing at home in front of his friends and family.
A little hometown hero thing going on.
Just from Gorton, round the corner from the National Basketball Performance Centre, where Manchester play their home games. They'll be playing the Sheffield Sharks on Friday. This Friday, the 31st, it's Fright Night, so everybody will be down there in their Halloween costumes. As Cleary takes the lead up to 7. Brussels with some work to do here. Vuko thought about it.
Very hesitant to shoot the 3, aren't they?
Finch with 5 seconds. And Liebert 3. Again, not dropping. And is that kind of a case of, we talk about shoot to shoot and the shot will drop, but it hasn't really been in their favor today?
They're not, in my opinion, they're not shooting the first shot. Like, there's some philosophy like the first shot's always the best shot. He had it in the corner, relatively clean look. So he gave that one up to get a end of the shot clock rush shot, or you take what the defense gives you. And if it's the first shot, like first pass, first shot, shoot it.
Sometimes just that catch and shoot as well.
Exactly.
Always almost muscle memory, don't think about it. So a timeout called here. Manchester with a 7-point lead, 62-55. Manchester were up 14 earlier on in the game. Brussels have been able to cut it down to 4, but again, Manchester just stretching it out a little bit further. And we see Kayem Cleary, a huge 18 points from him, along with 7 rebounds so far, shooting 62% from the field. And for Brussels, nobody hitting double figures yet. Several players out on 9 points. Jalen Finch, Jared Ambrose on 9, along with Onyeka Agu off the bench. But they are going to need to see some more of that scoring.
They need more production from other guys. I mean, like I said before, it's so tough when your league leading scorer, the ENBL leading scorer isn't giving you much production.
Do you maybe want to see the ball in Finch's hands a bit more, like take that drive to the basket again?
I just think they need to play at this point. Just play. You can run all the sets you want. Most of the time so far, they haven't really been working. You just need someone to go out there and get you a bucket kind of thing.
As Manchester forced the turnover, so not the ideal start for Brussels coming out of that timeout. But Osaboyan hands off to Jones. Jones, with space, it's off the rim. But that's a good look for Jones, especially, no player in front of him.
Clean handoff, clean shot. Brussels just dodged a bullet on that one. Travel.
Hazard called for the travel. And that's 2 quick turnovers there for Brussels. 5:34 to play here in the 4th quarter. Both teams on 3 team fouls.
And Manchester seems to be getting Brussels really, really scrambled. Their D's really good, and they're just all sped up, and they're not hitting the guy when he's open. They had the big fella in there wide open, not almost wide open, but a good clean look, and they just didn't get it to him.
Liebert back down the court, and Ambrose puts it in for 2. And it's back to a 5-point game. Manchester ball, Jones. Against Finch, double team comes, kicks it out. Irvin in the corner, 3, splashes it in. And Zach Irvin has such a unique shot.
It takes a long time to get there, but when he lets it go, especially in that corner,
he winds it up.
Yeah, it's a good shot for him.
That's a big shot for Manchester, and Irvin now up to 16 for Manchester. Stretches the lead back out to 8. Ambrose looks to answer, can't get it to go.
Yeah.
And Johnson down the floor. Jones won't go, but Irvin puts it back in. And Zach Irvin up to a lot of points here in the 4th quarter. Wait for my stats to refresh. As Finch fouled on the play there, but you were just saying before, Skylar, maybe a timeout there to stop that run?
Yeah, I think so. 4 minutes left. They're going on a run. Your team is making mistakes. I would bring him in and say, just first shot, get it up.
Yeah.
Clean up the rebounds. They're leading on the offensive rebounds. And they seem to be hesitating on passes and shots. I mean, you had the big guy shooting an elbow jumper when the guard was in there. He could have had a hook shot. Huge block.
Johnson will take it all away for Manchester. Up and in.
There's a timeout.
So a 12-point lead for Manchester. And if you're Brussels, you got that within 4. It's now stretched out to 12.
And they've just taken. It feels like to me they've taken bad shots. They haven't got good looks. I mean, the big fella, I'm not sure if he can shoot or not, but you've had your success at the rim. Get the ball on the rim, let him go, try to get the offensive rebound. Yeah, they just look a bit disjointed, and Manchester's taking advantage, getting out and running. And it's really hard to stop a team that really likes to get out in transition like that and just get up and down the floor.
And really interesting when you look at the matchup inside as well. 40 points in the paint for Brussels, 34 for Manchester. So Brussels are being successful when they're taking it inside.
Yeah, and they're having no success on the outside, but do what's working for you and stay there.
Just 1 of 14 from behind the three-point line for Brussels, and for Manchester 6 of 20. Those teams coming back out onto the floor. 69-57, Manchester lead over Brussels here in the ENBL Pool 2 matchup in round 3. And for Manchester, after having had a loss to Slovan Bratislava last time out, if they can stay on top here, if they can come away with the win, that's going to be a real big boost for them, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a huge confidence boost, especially to win on the road. And that can leak into domestic leagues and all that.
Finch, round to Vuko. Liebert. Finch.
Got to shoot that one.
And Liebert's shot won't fall. It looked like Finch had the space there. He'd made the space.
Yeah.
And fouls on the floor. The ball will go from the sideline.
Yeah, Brussels just getting killed on the fact that these threes aren't falling.
And is it a case for in their next game as well, when they face Tindastóll in Iceland, you just kind of almost got to put that shooting behind you and just go back to?
I would think so. I mean, if your game plan is to get threes up, it is very demoralizing when they're not. When you identify as a three-point shooting team when they're not going in. But sometimes you just have to flush it and move on to the next game.
So it was a foul on the shot. So Vuko at the line here for Brussels. Vuko having spent time playing in Croatia in Split, playing in the BCL qualifiers in 2022, also played in Hungary. Again, bringing his experience to this Brussels team, playing in his first season for them. As the second is good. It's under 3.5 minutes to play. Manchester with time on their side here. Johnson has Finch on him. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Cleary into the corner. Jones, 2 seconds, going to have to put something up. And oh, Jones, a clear path to the basket.
23 seconds of defense.
Manchester back up 12, just stretching out the lead here late in the fourth quarter. As Finch out to Vuko. Finch. Horton, and layup won't fall, but Horton will go to the foul line.
Yeah, I think the difference right now between Manchester and Brussels, on the offensive end, Manchester, Brussels almost seems to be chasing after Manchester. I mean, just there, you saw Kayam going for it. He ghosted it, popped out. The guys behind him, they get the ball moving. It seems like Brussels is a step behind. Manchester, when Brussels drives, they're right there. They're walling up, and then they're trying to find a guy on the kick-out drive. They got lucky here by a foul, but the difference on the defensive end between both teams it's pretty evident.
Maybe that's something when Brussels look at the tape from today before they go into their next game, something they'll look to try and adjust. And the second free throw drops for Brussels. Takes Horton up to 4 points. Jones swings it round to Johnson. And that's the fourth foul on.
Got him in the face.
Sorry, sideline ball for Brussels. 11-point lead. Finch. Pass inside to Ambrose, and Ambrose rocking the rim. And that's the look that.
But see, that was so much different than all their other possessions because the ball was moving quick. People weren't holding on to it and second guessing what they were doing. They passed it to the top and they threw it straight in. It was a great pass.
As Jones kicks it out to Irvin, keeps the ball alive.
Big shot.
And Cleary
Big
again.
Shot.
Kayem Cleary connecting from behind the three-point line.
Yeah.
Finch to Ambrose. Brussels moving
Don't have
the ball.
time to do all the passing. You got to get it up.
As ball's out to the three-point line. Doesn't go. And Manchester.
That's the story of the night right there for Brussels.
It has been. Manchester with a 12-point lead here. 90 seconds to play. That will move them to 2-1 in the ENBL. Unless Brussels can pull off a miracle here in the fourth quarter, but
I think that's all she wrote.
And Manchester, a 14-point lead here in the fourth. I mean, they came out with intensity from the very first possession. The tip straight into the basket from Payne Henry.
The tip play was it sums up the whole game, those kind of plays. But I mean, it is hard to beat a team shooting 1 for 16 from the three-point line. I mean, even if you convert half of those possessions to a two-pointer,
it's a numbers game.
It's a numbers, yeah.
So Finch takes it to the basket for Brussels and puts himself into double digits. 11 points for Jalen Finch. And that's the kind of move that we were expecting to see from him, but Manchester were really able to do a good job of closing
They were
that down.
really just closing down those gaps in the lane.
Johnson step back, three's up. Not that time. And Brussels back down the floor.
See, even that one. You're down by 12, just got to shoot that one.
Finch steps back, in and out. Vuko's there for the rebound, cleaning up the glass. Manchester will move to 2-1 in the ENBL. A really good bounce back win here for Manchester after that loss to Slovan Bratislava.
Yeah, I think they knew what they wanted to do from the start. They knew how they wanted to play defense. And whether it's just not Brussels' night or it was the defensive scheme, they shut down the three-point line. And if you're going to do that, you're going to win a lot of games.
And for Manchester, that defensive identity is certainly something that they'll also want to be making a name for themselves in the SLB.
Yeah, hope not too much.
Not against you guys.
Yeah, not against us.
So Johnson to Adatu Cassie with 1 second to go, and Adatu Cassie will be going to the foul line here with 1 second left in the fourth to put some icing on the cake for Manchester. We're up 12 here. And Manchester having led from tip to buzzer here in Brussels. As Adatu Cassie looks to just extend the lead. Can't get the free throw to go.
Is that 10 missed free throws tonight? Yeah.
That might be something they're working on.
Yeah.
As seconds good. And that will do it. Manchester with a 79-66 win over Brussels Basketball in the ENBL. They move above 500. A bounce back win after that loss to Slovan Bratislava. And Manchester were led by 21 points from Kayem Cleary, 7 rebounds, shooting 60% from the field. And Zach Irvin, the captain, 18 points and 10 rebounds, a double-double for him. Just how important were those two guys out on the floor?
Yeah, I think they really set the tone. I mean, when things kind of dried up, Kayem came in and hit big shots. Zach Irving is just the ultimate glue guy. Like knows where his spots are. I said it before. Knows where he wants to get the ball, the right time to cut. and it really helps the other guys on the floor know that if maybe they get stuck or something like that, they know where he's going to be, and the majority of the time he's going to be open. But they cleaned up the boards. I mean, there was a lot of offensive rebounds in this game, but Brussels just couldn't capitalize on any of them. But it was a very interesting game. It was a very interesting game.
It certainly was. And if we look at Brussels, so they were led by Jared Ambrose, 13 points for him, along with 3 rebounds. And Jalen Finch, 11 points, 3 assists. And as we said for Brussels, Manchester looked like their game plan was to stop Demetric Horton and make it really difficult for Jalen Finch to get to the basket.
Yeah, they definitely shut down the league leading scorer. And they just said, hey, we're going to make someone else beat us, and no one really stepped up to that challenge. That third quarter, though, they had a huge boost in their defensive energy, forced 6 turnovers in one quarter, and then the fourth quarter, Manchester only had 3. In that third quarter they came back, so that could have made a huge difference. Whether that be, I don't know if it was Manchester take care of the ball more, or if the defensive pressure got let up, but something changed there.
And bringing the deficit down to 4 after having been down 14, obviously not coming away with a win, but is there some positives there that the team takes from, yeah, we've been down, we can cut into it, we just need to be able to pull it out?
If you want to be on a positive note, I'd be walking in the locker room. We got to 4, making 1 3 as a 3-point shooting team. It's never good to lose, but you always have to learn something from every loss. And so hopefully they learn something about themselves tonight.
Biznesa platforma, kas apvieno būvniecības nozares speciālistus un darbojas 4 pakalpojumu sektoros – ielu kompleksa būvniecība vai pārbūve, teritorijas labiekārtošana, hidrobūvniecība, ēku būvniecība un iekšdarbi. Mēs piedāvājam skaidrs un saprotams risinājums ēku un inženieru būvju projektēšanā, teritorijas labiekārtošanā, dokumentu sagatavošanai, būvju nodošanai eksploatācijā un juridisko palīdzību. ENBLeague partners – stabils, profesionāls un atbildīgs partners.